Welcome to the third lecture of the Introduction to the Highway or the Highway Engineering. Today we will be studying on highway planning, how the planning is done. We will classify the various types of highways, factors controlling the highway alignment, very important question with the exam point of view, and engineering surveys. Which type of surveys, which are the types of surveys that we have to do while we are constructing an highway. We'll see. So highway planning, as far as any development program is concerned, its planning form the foundation on which the related operations will rest. Without the planning, you can't do any program or any work or a project that is being told to you, right? Highway planning is continuous development and modification of long-term and short-term basis guidelines for a capital investments in the highway network. Here, the highway planning doesn't stop once we are done with the building the highways. It is continuous process. It will modify because every time as the day passes on, the the capacity also increases. The volume on the road also increases. So we need to have an alternative, or we can have some design so that we can increase its capacity. Right? That is what we are talking about. The selection of suitable alignment plays an important role in successful highway planning. Very important point. Term planning deals with a future, hence, the alternate plan must be evaluated and potential sequences must be sequential means what are the further causes of it. If we decide to construct a road here, what would be the sequence, what would be the consequences about that, whether it is good or bad, is mentioned for consideration of decision makers. Now, we saw what are the things are in the highway engineering, and we'll see now why this highway planning is so important or why it is required. To assist the general planner for serving adequate transportation demand is created by population growth and economic developments and technological change, right? To assist the great general planner for serving the adequate whatever transportation demand is, whatever I said, why we modify it is a long term process because you continuously be changing to provide most suitable type of roads of maximum length in the available form in the available funds. With the minimum funds, how can we provide the good quality roads on the surfaces is what we decide in the highway planning. To plan a road system for a future, anticipated requirements by constructing new roads and improving existing ones should be studied. Prepare a plan in such a way that the traffic operations are carried out efficiently and safely on the highways. To create an awareness of unforeseen events, conditions, change politics, and other development currents. Highway planning helps fix priorities of the roads. If all the required roads cannot be constructed, the most important is to construct first with the available fund within the planned period. If you don't have proper priorities and if you don't have proper uh, economical support, so you have to consider as per the requirements. Now, classification of highway is done based on the location and functions. So, national highway, state highway, major district roads, other district roads, and village roads. Right? These are the classification based on the location where they are provided and what are its functions. National highways are provided on the national highways. which connects two capitals. State highways connecting important cities and capitals in the state. Major district road and other roads will come into your mm, small routes that are being provided. There it comes. Village road which are provided in the villages. Classification of the highway based on the modified systems of highway classification is preliminary, expressway or highway. Right, this is how we decide bifurcate preliminary, secondary and tertiary. In this tertiary what we do is secondary, state highway and major district roads, and tertiary is for village roads. Highway alignment, the position or the layout center line of a highway on the ground is called as alignment. What is alignment? A position of laying out of center line of the highway on the ground is called as alignment. It includes straight path, horizontal deviations, curves, etc. Obligatory points are those points on the alignment, right, through which we have to pass, and through the points through which we don't have to pass. So to keep in the mind in the obligatory point that which controls the alignment. It is the point where we have to pass through it or be away from it. So all those things are there in the or obligatory points. Points through which alignment should pass. The obligatory points through which the alignment should pass oftenly cause alignment to draw from the shortest path of bridge, mountain and pass. The point which is not alignment should not pass. If there are any deviations posed for the short alignments, religious places, very costly constructions and unsuitable land for like marshy areas. There are different types of surveys, that is map survey, reconnaissance survey, preliminary survey and a final survey. In the reconnaissance map survey, we decide map study is for to study the maps of the topographical maps of two destination and origin and come up with the best suited road. Reconnaissance survey, whichever the alignment is been selected, right? So once the site is selected, we have to go to the site with the help of these small instruments and instruments through which we can do the survey. Preliminary survey is for those who have selected and want to join again here, right? And then is final survey. Once all the documentation is done, we go for final survey. Map study is the breaking up process of marking the several possible alternate alignments of the roads on the topographical maps are known as map study. The main objective of the survey is to examine the general characteristics of an area for determining the most feasible routes or rotate over the future details. Engineering survey is where study of topography, aerial surveying, reconnaissance and ground reconnaissance. Art of finding details of alternate alignments found suitable during the reconnaissance survey is called preliminary survey. Art of finding the alternate alignment. It is a rough type of survey which is conducted to have a fair idea of around areas. Most economical and best alignment is selected in the preliminary survey. The final survey or the final location survey is also known as location survey. The levels are taken along the center line, cross section leveling is done, and required points are been center line. So this is what about the curve, right?